Hi everyone and welcome to another 10 books list, and this is 10 books that have made me cry. Now this is in no particular order and some of them may have made me just shed like an elegant tear, others I might have been blubbing in a total mess like state. But yeah, I didn't realise that I'd necessarily got 10 books at this point that would actually made me cry, but yep, it appears that I am actually quite the crybaby, as I was spoilt for choice for this video. So as I said, in no particular order, I'm going to start off with Girl Online on Tour, which is the second book in the Girl Online series by Zoe Sugg. And I wasn't expecting to cry like a baby at this. I didn't even necessarily expect to enjoy it that much, but I was a mess. This wasn't an elegant cry. This was a, oh my god, I look like the world must be ending kind of cry. Like I couldn't stop for probably over half an hour. I was a mess. I think if anyone had noticed, like if anyone had been able to be a fly on the wall and see the state I was in, they'd have been like, what on earth? Because I wasn't even physically reading the book. I was laying in bed because my eyes were tired, listening to the audiobook in the dark, crying my eyes out. So if my partner had woke up, he'd have been like, oh my god, what's she crying at? Because I'd just got earphones in, so there'd have been nothing visibly wrong. I must have looked nuts. But yeah, this book broke me into a million pieces. I didn't expect that at all. Next, another book that broke me into a million pieces was My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella. Again, this was not an elegant cry at all. And this was a multiple occasions I'm going to cry like a baby for a good 10 minutes kind of book for me. I cried on, multiple occasions. Sometimes it was just a little bit of a tear, other times it was just full-blown total mess. Another book that made me a full-blown total mess was another Sophie Kinsella book, and this one was The Undomestic Goddess. And this one, I mainly only cried towards the beginning and towards the end. The middle I was like kind of laughing and having a good time. But at those two places, again, total mess, not elegant at all, just bawling. Next we have The One by Kira Cass, and if I remember correctly, I only cried at one bit of this one, and that was towards the end. So I can't remember whether it was elegant or not. Let me see if it says in the review how much I did or did not cry. I know I did cry though, so it probably was just a few tears and not total mess kind of level. Next we have The Pics of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, and this was an elegant cry for me. I think this was towards the end. I'm just going to shed a few tears and not look too much of a mess and just, yeah. I don't think I got in a total mess with this one. Then we have Summer Days and Summer Nights 12 Love Stories, edited by Stephanie Perkins. Now I didn't cry throughout this whole book. That would be really weird. So the only one I cried to was Inertia by Veronica Roth, and I didn't just like a little bit cry. I like full on total mess. Again, like streaming eyes, looked like the world was going to end kind of crying, which totally caught me off guard. This was a highlight story for me out of this collection, actually. I really, really enjoyed it. Then we have The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. And there's a particular thing that happens in this book that broke my heart into a billion pieces, because I am an animal lover. If you've read this book, you'll know exactly what I mean by that. And yeah, I think I had to stop reading for a little bit at that point while I got over that problem, because I was a mess in a sort of way where I wasn't sure I wanted to carry on reading. Most cases when I've been crying with these books, I've been crying because I've put myself in the position of the character and I've either shared their heartbreak or like I've just got swept away with the whole story and I've got really upset. But in this case, I was just genuinely that upset with the decision that was made that I wasn't sure I wanted to carry on with the book. And yeah, I was a mess. Oh my goodness, did this part of this book make me cry so much. Next we have City of Glass by Cassandra Clare, and this one I mainly cried at a certain death scene towards the end. I really enjoyed this one actually. I kind of feel like giving this a reread now that I've got it in my hand. It's like, I forgot how much I loved. Smells so good. forgot how much I really loved this book, particularly out of the Immortal Instruments series. This one, I really got attached to the characters, and when you get a character snatched away from you, heartbreak. Then we have Dead Girls Don't by Mag's Story, and I can't remember this book very much anymore, which is a little bit sad because I gave it 5 stars, so I must have thought it was memorable at the time. But from looking at the review, I did do a little bit of crying at the end. Nothing major, but a few tears shed here and there, and I thought it was nice to have a book on here that people perhaps didn't know and recognise. Finally on this list, this would not be complete without holding up this book here, which is The Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling. And this was a multiple occasions book, so I cried at the beginning, not the very beginning, but near the beginning, when a certain death happens. I cried a bit later on when other deaths happened. I cried when I thought something else was happening. I cried many times. Some of them were elegant, some of them were not so elegant, and this book just broke me quite a lot. This isn't the only Harry Potter book to make me cry, but I didn't want to sit here holding up multiple books, because I also cried in The Order of the Phoenix with a death in that. I also cried with The Half-Blood Prince with a death in that. So you get the idea. I cry a lot at Harry Potter books. And I didn't realise till making this video just how much of a crybaby I am at reading. I didn't think that books made me cry all that often, but now after looking back at that, I'm like, oh, I do actually cry quite a bit. Oh. And now I want to keep better track of my crying so that I can do another video like this in the future. So if you've ever cried to any of these books, if you've ever read these books and not cried and you think that I'm some sort of crybaby, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what books make you cry. Send me some challenges of books to read to see whether they make me cry or not, and to see just how big a crybaby I am. I'm up for all of that in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe by clicking the image of me to decide if you want to see more book reviews and other bookish content from me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye!